Hey guys, welcome back and happy Tuesday. All right, guys, well, we're back to talk about the OG of the OC, Vicki Gunvalson and her new man, and some bad news, I think, for Vicki. But shockingly, who introduced them? Well, we'll get into that. So before we jump in, I did want to say, because I've said this in my other videos, tomorrow, because Jason and I will be on the road on Thursday, and I believe we'll be doing a members only live from the car just to kind of give you guys a heads up. I'll post all of this in the community tab, but we will be doing our Beverly Hills Dubai recap tomorrow night at 10 p.m. EST instead of on Thursday. So just kind of a heads up, but again, I'll be posting that in the community tab. With that, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And now let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so it's no secret that Vicki Gunvalson attended Jill Zarin's event in New York, well, over the weekend. Now, when she did, press was there, obviously, and they caught up with Vicki, and they were talking to her about her new relationship with her man, Michael. She was talking about, okay, listen, this is how it happened. Kelly, we know Kelly Dodd, and her husband, Rick Leventhal, invited me out for dinner. When she did, I was sitting there and there was a man who was next to me and he said, "Hey, you never called me back 7 years ago." And she's like, "I don't remember you." He's like, "Yeah, we met at Fleming's." And that's how they kind of rekindled their relationship. Now, would I say that that's because of Kelly Dodd? Probably not, but they're attributing, her new relationship to Kelly Dodd. So, okay, we'll give Kelly Dodd that bone, which, by the way, Kelly Dodd tagged me the other day. Kelly and Rick tagged me in an episode of their podcast. And I think it was something to do with Jen Shaw. I'm not quite sure, but I didn't hear anything about me or our channel over here, the Addams family or Up and Adam. So I don't know why we were necessarily tagged. Let's get back into it though. Now, why I'm saying this is bad news for Vicki is because she had a list of 18 things that she wanted in a new man. She said that she manifested this man. Okay. She said that he had everything except for one, and that was the fact that he didn't own a boat. But where it gets kind of iffy is when she was talking about her breakup from Steve Lodge, she said that she was heartbroken. She said that she stays committed in her relationships and she is not a dater. She believes in marriage. She wants to be married and she wants to kind of solidify that and move on. She doesn't want to be a single woman who's in a relationship. She wants to grow old with someone. And I get that. A lot of people feel that way. And Vicki, she's allowed to feel that way. She's been through so many relationships. Yes, that's okay for her to want that. The problem here is apparently her new man, Michael, that she introduced to her family, that her grandchildren love, her daughter thinks that he's a great guy, her son likes him. That's all fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, from what we're hearing, he does not ever want to get married. Now, can someone change their stance on that? Yeah, absolutely. But if the man's telling you right out of the gate that he doesn't want to get married, and that's something that's extremely important to you, you would think that that would probably be a red flag. Only because, and this is not an age thing or anything like that, but I feel like it's weird. I'm only 29, but I feel like as you get older, you start thinking like, wow, I have like my time window is getting shorter and shorter for the things that I want to do. And I'm not saying that at 29, but I'm saying like in general, I can see where people would have that perspective on life. And I think for Vicki, she's like, I committed to Steve Lodge. I thought we were going to get married. We got engaged. I bought my own ring and it was just a shit show. Then Steve started this relationship with this other girl and was allegedly hooking up in her bed in Puerto Vallarta. Not so great, right? But she said that she held out for this man and she did definitely change a lot about herself in order to adapt to him. And she did the same thing for Brooks. She went up against all of her cast members. She defended him when he was lying about cancer. She fought with her own daughter when he was saying that, he was telling Brianna's husband, Ryan, that, he should take control and like smack her around if she gets out of hand, which was absolutely disgusting to say. But Vicki always took up for him. And she changed and she adapted to make that relationship work when I'm sure she even saw red flags before her very eyes, but she didn't want to do this again. Going into the relationship with Steve Lodge, we saw a totally different Vicki Gunvalson. The whoop it up, kind of running around, wild, crazy, fun, energetic woman that we once saw on the show really toned it down for Steve. Steve has a background, obviously, as I believe it was a police officer. He was a police officer or a sheriff or a deputy, something like that, some sort of criminal background. Not like he was a criminal, but you guys get what I'm saying. And in law enforcement, he had a background in law enforcement, and he was very just chill. And I think that he expected Vicki to be the same way. And he did note that he did not like when the cameras were in his face. He did not like filming the show. So then when Tamra and Shannon and they brought in Bronwyn and everyone was having a good time and running around naked and being like the Tres Amigas and wah, Vicki was like, what are you guys doing? I don't do that. I'm a grandmother. No. But that didn't really seem like it made a whole lot of sense because Vicki was doing that all of this time before. And the season before that, the season before she even met Steve, she was still doing whatever she wanted and being kind of the wild, crazy Vicki that we loved. I think once she changed herself for a man, and I think it's fair to say because we watched it on our TVs, that, you know, it lost her job. You know, she even just recently got into a back and forth with Tamra Judge, allegedly in these leaked messages that we talked about yesterday. And somewhere in the message, she's like, if you got back on the show, good for you. Jealous ? I don't think so. You know, she's like, at this point, I'm over being on the show. So I think she, in her mind, if I had to guess, she wouldn't be over the TV show or be over the Real Housewives because she wouldn't have joined Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Season 2, Ex-Wives Club, which we're watching right now on Peacock. She obviously did that in an attempt to show Bravo what they're missing and why they should bring her back. Personally, I feel like she dropped the ball because she showed up and it was right around the same time that Steve Lodge just broke up with her and she's allowed to grieve that relationship, but she wasn't this very fun, exciting, like whoop it up kind of personality. She just wanted to sit in the room. She ended up getting sick. She didn't want to really be around anyone. And she was pretty negative. I mean, she's grieving the loss of a relationship, but she was still pretty negative. As for Tamra, she completely flipped the script. Tamra was fun. She showed us what we were missing on the show. She showed us why we should bring her back. And she had an assignment and she went and she completed it. But for Vicki, when she's saying jealous, I don't think so. I think she could be. I think that she's hoping that Bravo looks at, you know, the ratings for season 16 and maybe even season 17 without her. And they're like, we want you back to film, whether it's as a friend or a full-time role. Vicki is, there's an ego there. There's like a pride. She's like, I'm the one who started the Real Housewives, period. Because of me, there's a Ramona, there's a Nene, there's a Lisa Vanderpump, there's a Heather Dubrow. Now that's a lot to say it's because of you, because really it's the network and Andy Cohen who got this idea off of Desperate Housewives and turned it into the Real Housewives franchises. I don't necessarily think that it's because of Vicki, but okay, we'll go with that. I mean, Vicki does have a tendency to remember these things very differently, considering when Andy Cohen called her out at the reunion and said, you know, you sent in a casting tape. She's like, I never sent in a casting tape. And then they rolled the tape and she sent in a casting tape. So I think that once you say something to yourself so many times, you start to believe it. And that could be a problem as well. But guys, I don't want to just give you my opinion. I want to hear what your thoughts are. Do you think that Vicki should walk away from this relationship if the man is already saying that he never wants to get married and that's a big priority of Vicki's? Or no, hold on, because maybe you can have a loving, happy relationship without ever wanting to get married? I mean, I want to hear what your guys' opinions are because I know I definitely have mine. So go ahead, comment below. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Love you.